Hello and welcome to Diamonds in the Sky Astrology. I'm going to be talking about the transits of February 2023. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe. And as always, if you would like to reach out to me for a one-on-one astrological consultation or tarot consultation, please contact me at the email in the description box below. Okay, let's have a look at my interpretation of the significant transits that are occurring in February. Okay, so the standouts. Let's have a look at the planets. So the planets are, we use them as an archetypal representation of possibly influencing certain outcomes, events, behaviors, and personality. There's a lot of personality in our planets, and it's translated through archetypal expressions, through mythology and astrology. So it's almost like we look at a planet and we understand that it's a very blanket response, but we understand that Mercury, the planet of Mercury, when it's in retrograde, is, well, we hand off all responsibility of things going awry due to Mercury being in retrograde. And the archetypal expression of Mercury is communication and the trickster energy. It's got something going on behind the wizard's curtain, and it's very agile and quick. It can go into the depths of the underworld, and it can be up with the gods, and he can very much maneuver very diligently everywhere. And when he's in retrograde, he can be a little bit of a handful, to be transparent. Absolutely. Can cause, some cogs in the wheels and literally affect a lot of things that we are trying to talk about, communicate about, move forward on. And sometimes, not all the time, but Mercury can disrupt. He's got that little bit of a cunning trickster energy to him. If you do your research about the planet Mercury, you can certainly find a lot more detail. The blanket response of that is just that. It's a blanket response. But most people resonate and understand it because it's become such a magnet. It's like, oh, that's right, my phone's completely dead or going silly because Mercury's retrograde. Okay, you could go down that rabbit hole. It's an explanation. However, it's a generality. So we don't want to peg down Mercury as just a disruptor in retrograde. There's always a deeper layer of what's going on in your own personal experience. So moving forward with this video, any information that you get, you can look at your own astrological chart and use it against what you actually hear, so you know what energies you're moving through personally, because this is a general forecast for us all. So back to the planet Mercury, for example, we don't want to give it a blanket response and say, Mercury's a real bugger in retrograde. But when it's not, everyone's having a great time, we're communicating, everything's moving forward, the paperwork's arriving, the checks are in the mail, they're actually being delivered. Oh, I understand what they're saying, and they've been tongue-tied for months, but now we understand. And I can have that sort of feeling too associated when Mercury's actually going forward and not in retrograde. However, we want to understand the planet and where he is and what sign he is and how he's going to be operating when we're looking at the astrology. So I hope to bring some value and some knowledge and a different perspective for you in this video on what's coming up for us in February. Mercury is going into the sun sign of Aquarius on February 11. So Mercury, the planet that is associated with so many mercurial things that it would be very difficult to write a list, but we're keeping it very simple for the purpose of this video. Communication's going to be flowing very fast and moving very fast in regards to other people, our social life, who we do associate with larger institutions. We're also going to be very expressive about what we want to aspire to, what our dreams and goals are, what our wishes are. And we're going to be exchanging dialogue with others about that. Mercury is a very social planet. It likes to move around. It loves the freedom. And in Aquarius, he's literally in flow, because Aquarius is all about freedom and forward thinking and intellectual, and we all are having a great time exchanging ideas and dialogue. It's a very social place for Mercury to be in. So enjoy the energy of Mercury going into Aquarius on February 11. Next standout transit is Venus. So Venus is currently in the sign of Pisces as we come into February. And Venus, the planet Venus, is in her, what we call in ancient astrology, her domicile. So she's happy and content when she's in the sign of Pisces. She rules Pisces, so it's her rulership. This is the place where she thrives and can be very authentic. So the planet Venus, Venus is all about diplomacy, making things shared and equal and collaborating, bringing things together. Very harmonizing energy. She is love. She is abundance. She is complete feminine energy. She radiates an energy of connection, the divine love of self and the love of others. She's ethereal and she has a fantastic reputation. And Venus in Pisces has been very content. And then the shift comes. Here we go. Loves being in the house of Pisces, her domicile, the 12th house. It's the end of a cycle, and Aries is the next sign that begins a whole new cycle. And the planet Venus is now situated in Mars's home. He rules Aries, and Venus and Mars are opposite. Venus is not so content in a very masculine, martial environment. She can struggle a little here. But the blessing here, when Venus goes into Aries on February 20, is that Jupiter is also transiting through the sign of Aries. Jupiter, although Venus and Mercury move very swiftly through the signs, Jupiter is in Aries for 6 months until May. Jupiter also rules Pisces. It's in domicile in Pisces, where Venus is in domicile in Pisces as well. What does this mean? We have 2 very benefic planets in the sign of Aries coming together on February 20. This should be relatively easier for Venus now that Jupiter's coming along to give her a leg up and a push with optimism and hope. She may be able to navigate the Aries sign a little easier. And Jupiter has no problem lifting up Aries energy, because Jupiter is also associated with movement. And Aries is all about movement. So So there's a changing of the guard coming in, but an uplifting one. When Venus enters Aries, Jupiter is there to assist and buffer, soften the blow over not being alone. She's got some help here. So that's a nice transit coming up, especially if you're a sun sign or a rising sign of Aries. It's a very welcoming energy that you may be embodying at this time. But for all of us on planet, it hits our charts very differently. So again, refer back to your own astrology charts. Another standout at the moment we're talking about, this astrology that I follow is ancient traditional astrology. So I use only the 7 visible planets, being Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So we're now going to be talking about Mars. Where's Mars? What's Mars doing in February? Where's he at? Well, Mars is currently in Gemini. Mars has been in Gemini for some time. Went through a retrograde. So when we're opening up with February, the month of February, Mars is still in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury is currently in Aquarius. So that's a nice sextile, shall we say, meaning it's complementary for Mars in Gemini and Mercury in Aquarius. It's a nice frequency, nice vibration that the planets should be giving off for us to experience at this time. So we're talking about Mars being in Aquarius, Gemini. So Mars is now moving forward with plans, ideas, thoughts, and definitely with dialogue. There could be a massive amping up, a real escalation, if you will, in communication and movement for a lot of people. This is not a calm, serene space. This is all systems go and action. So Mars appreciates movement and action, and so does Gemini. And so does Mercury that rules it. So I would expect with Mercury in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini, when these guys all come together on February 11, I would expect an escalation in social life. Lots of interaction and chatter going on social media platforms, especially. A massive escalation. So that's the energy I feel with Mars in Gemini when Mercury and Aquarius meet up on February 11. And just looking at general where Mars is. Now let's have a look where Saturn is. We've looked at Jupiter. Now where's Saturn? Well, Saturn's in Aquarius. So opening up the month, we've got Saturn in Aquarius and ruling Aquarius. So it's in flow. It's feeling pretty good about itself. And Saturn's about to make a very huge, quite poignant transition soon. But we're not going to go into that in this content in this video. So a lot going on in February indeed. But nothing, it's not our first rodeo, guys, to be transparent. We can deal with this and we can enjoy it. So this information just brings something to the table for you to sort of get a grasp on what's going to go on outside when you step outside and you go, what's happening with everyone? Why is everyone's buzzing? Why am I getting all these invitations? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Well, the planetary movements and transitions through houses are a pretty good indication of what's happening collectively, but it will hit us individually as well and differently at times. There is also a standout moment in February on the opening of the month. The 5th of February, we're having a full moon in Leo. Okay, interesting fact. So the penny dropped for me too when regards to this. So I just want to share it because it might just help you moving forward. We're in the sun sign of Aquarius, opening up the month of February, as always. And the opposite of Aquarius is Leo. So we always get a full moon in that sun side, which is the opposite of it. Just a heads up there, I found that really fascinating when the penny dropped. So, for example, there'll be a full moon in Virgo in the month of March. And what's the opposite of Virgo? It's Pisces, and then we'll be in Pisces season. So I just thought I'd share that. I find that very interesting. So a full moon in Leo, and this is where you hear a lot of astrologers refer to, oh, it's a full moon in opposition to the sun, because the sun's in Aquarius, and the opposite of Aquarius is Leo. So it's a full moon opposite the sun. There you go. So we have a full moon in Leo on the 5th of February, opening up the month. So a Leo full moon is exuberant, proud, loud, very out there for people to see and hear, extremely aware of what it loves and not afraid to initiate or go past or passing up an opportunity, shall we say. So it's a very fun, vibrant full moon. Honestly, enjoy it because it's fabulous. What's the opposite of Leo? It's Aquarius. So Leo's now in Aquarius's energy, and Aquarius is about the group mind, collective, and Leo can be quite individual and stand out from a crowd. So sometimes it can be difficult to maneuver and listen to such a loud Leo energy or embody that vibration, because we're trying to, we're interacting with others, we're having a great time, but this is sort of inside pull to stand out or do something different. So there could be a clash of energies there, just a heads up, possibly. It varies from person to person, but generally the 5th of February 2023 with the Leo full moon, honestly, it's going to be a great one from my perspective. So I just want to keep it there. I want to keep it as short as possible. I'm sure it's not going to be. But I just hope moving forward that the videos are going to be liked and you're going to subscribe and share these so I can know that the work is, at least valued, and I can expand moving forward on this channel, because astrology is something that I truly do embody. I also respect the beautiful tapestry of it all and how it does assist us in knowing our nature and knowing how to maneuver through the cycles and seasons through our life. So I do hope you enjoyed the content. I will be expanding the channel, and I look forward to you guys jumping on board and joining me in this journey moving forward. Thank you so much, and here's to a stellar 2023. I'll see you soon. This is Diamonds in the Sky Astrology. Thanks again.